Hola, como esta, and welcome. It's Senor TMZ coming at ya. And this synth ain't just for show, mis amigos. It's the final resolution. Yes, I've been plugging Cyber Sunday time and time again. Let's be honest. We're bigger than that. We're better than that. In fact, if there was more comments, we could have done it. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough reaction in the comments. Next time, I'll try to give a longer notice for such a thing. And I get it. Sometimes it's just more fun to watch and react than to come up with these matchups and whatever. So anyways, I appreciate you watching, subscribing, viewing, liking. You know the spiel by now. And let's take a little sneak peek at the card. It is Final Resolution WWF, and we are in 1990. It is the beginning of a new decade, mis amigos, and it is about to be wild. No doubt about it. We had an Elimination Chamber match in the semi, or the co-main event, and then a triple threat for the title. A lot of big matches, a lot of cool stuff on this one. Definitely a fun card, not one to miss, so let's jump right into it with a women's match on the pre-show, as Nagayu gets a win here. 70,000 people were in Blacksburg, and we are getting after it. You feel that pumping, your heart thumping? It's 1990 personified. You take that, you bottle that, you put that in a glass container, you inject that into your veins. We are in the 90s. It's the final countdown. Europe, all those things. And also Scott Steiner getting a winner via the Steiner recliner on the pre-show. Hot and heavy matchup leading in to the first pay-per-view of the 90s. And this roster is about as stacked as it possibly could be. The story is about as jam-packed as you possibly hope it should be. This is as wrestling should be. I was on to something. I didn't plan my words, but I don't mix my words either. Scott Steiner is the man to watch out in the 80s. Challenged Harley Race. Only a pre-show bout, but he gets a win here, and that spells big things for Scott Steiner, moving forward. That's big stuff. And let's jump right into the main card. If Dusty Rhodes, baby, cuts the promo because he is the second most recognizable athlete to none other than Muhammad Ali, baby. And he'll be doing this all over the world, not just Blacksburg. I'll be doing this in Japan, India, Korea, in front of all of the Koreans, brother, from Korea. It's Dusty Rhodes at his best, cutting it up on the mic, and he is leading us into the 90s like no one else. In match one, we got the Hearts, two people who defined the early 90s with their feud. No doubt about that. Really helped bolster up technical wrestling in the WWF. I really do think Bret Hart certainly helped. Shawn Michaels definitely elevated it. But Owen and Bret, that's poetry in motion. WrestleMania 10, then SummerSlam. In the steel cage, they did something special. There's no doubt about that. And honestly, I mean, let's take it to a real note here for a second. You know, Brett was integral, you know, just as I said with the likes of Owen, Sean, Davey. I mean, Davey was a bigger guy, but here's the larger point that you didn't need to sell the pay-per-view by pairing the technical guy with a huge, gigantic, you know, monster heel. Sometimes you could have a Ric Flair type going up against a Ricky Steamboat type. I really do think that Vince, maybe that's not when he learned it, but I mean, I would hope they took note and they're like, wow, these guys are doing crazy business over in Jim Crockett, and maybe, I mean, we got the guys to do it, and that's certainly what I'm taking into consideration because, I mean, our best wrestlers are getting over the best. And that might sound kind of convoluted and self-explanatory, but, you know, the Warrior, as much as I wanted to really make him a household name, it's really just the guys who have the in-ring performance stuff that luckily can do it on the mic as well, who are getting over the best. And Brett is certainly bringing it. And another great opener courtesy of the Hitman. And I'm going to stop spewing over one of my idols growing up and by far favorite wrestlers. By the way, let's see if we can get the comments lively again. Folks, if you're watching this, I want to hear your input. I want to get to know my fan base. I mean, we're a small nucleus right now. I feel like we're a family. Okay? I'm the Papa Bear. And I'll feed you baby birds. But I just need to know that you're hungry. Okay? Who's your favorite wrestler? Who's your favorite wrestler on this roster? What match up do you want to see in 1990? Let me hear it. Also, at the end of the video, stay tuned because I want to hear your input on some other questions too, because I had an idea for a video, and if there was enough demand for it, I'll put it out for you. I'll do that for you. This is the things I can provide. Let's keep it moving on to match 2 as Dusty and Stan Hansen. Unfortunately, they're going to eat a penalty here for a short match. Nonetheless, Dusty gets a victory over Stan Hansen via bionic elbow. Definitely a big win for Dusty. And a good dance partner, Stan Hansen. Great wrestling, good heat. Not much to this as far as build-up, besides the fact that Hansen attacked Dusty. And Dusty said, bring it on pay-per-view, baby. 'Cause that's what he does. He's got he doesn't have a cowardly bone in his body, and that shows. Stan Hansen, he's a cowboy too, and he'll mix it up. But unfortunately, he came up just an inch short against the American Dream. And let's keep it moving as Andre tries to weigh in on the women's title situation. So right now we have 3 women who are very much at the top of the totem pole, and they are all barking, hoping that they can display their dominance, but it seems as though a match is going to have to take place to truly determine the pecking order from here on out. Also, fantastic to see Andre back on the big screen via pay-per-view. I think WrestleMania 4 was his last match. I mean, he's made some appearances since then, which is pretty cool. And all the way in 1990, God bless Andre the Giant. Then we're going to go straight into the tag title match as we got Road Warrior Animal absolutely swagging out with that new profile pic. He's trying to show off for the ladies, man. He's got that spider on his forehead, bruh. And he's ready, Freddy. However, even in this superb wrestling and good heat bout, we got the Road Warriors disqualified because of the Brainbusters interference. much like what we had seen last pay-per-view. Excuse me. And the Bulldogs are both... I mean, the tag division is just crazy hot right now. I mean, that title just comes with so much steam. I mean, it's like a runaway train. Just hold on. You get those titles, just hold on, and you are going all the way to the tippy top. They make it defense number 2, and now we got legitimate beef on both the Brainbusters and the Road Warriors behalfs. So, you know what I like to do in these scenarios, but if not, I'll leave it a surprise. Stay tuned. Next pay-per-view is the Rumble. And in any Royal Rumble, which, again, is the next pay-per-view, something to look forward to. Keep your eye out for. It's gonna be an interesting one, no doubt about that. So you're gonna want to watch it. We might have a triple threat tag team match. I don't know, maybe. Obviously, and then we got a hot feud coming on here. Great wrestling, good heat. Barry Windham, the newest. The newest. 4 Horsemen dropout, I guess is one way to put it. And Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, the newest attendee, or newest member rather, are wrestling, because Perfect is the one who threw him out so eloquently with a perfect plex on pay-per-view after months of undermining and attacking. Finally, Flair gave word that, hey brother, you're out of the crew, and Hennig, the new initiate, I don't even what the new intern. I'm not sure what the word. The person being initiated. He was pretty quick to toss Windham out. However, Windham gets. Not sure if it's the last laugh, but definitely a big hearty belly laugh here by defeating Kurt Hennig at the final resolution in Blacksburg Lane Stadium. Pretty good match by these two. About what you would expect. Kurt Hennig comes back to a loss, but it's all part of the story. And not sure where this one's going to go moving forward, but should be interesting. So stay tuned for that. Then Stinger is cutting a promo because he is going up against none other than Rickety Rude, because he wants to riggedy wreck the Ravishing One for the IC title. It's US title versus IC title here tonight. And Stinger is hyped up like none other because he's back in black, red, and white. Because it's a big night here in Blacksburg for Final Resolution, champ v champ. And if you think you can take the Stinger's title, you got another thing coming. But Rude had attacked him prior on Superstars, making this one personal. Let's jump right into it as we have a freaking awesome match here. Unlike anything I had anticipated. Holy heck. We get a freaking 5-star bout from Sting and Rude. Obviously, these guys probably around this time would have put on some magical matches. No doubt about that. And thank God we have them both on this roster because they absolutely killed it. Superb wrestling, great heat. Sting defeats Rude because of a disqualification thanks to Adonis running in and attacking Sting. Both will retain their titles. Both titles were on the line, obviously. 90 performance from Sting. Rude, 92. Now, this is one of those scenarios. We had seen this prior where it goes the other way. Where very similar, tight bandwidth of in-ring performances, and sometimes it'll really go above and beyond. This is one of those examples, and man, I'm glad to see both of these guys absolutely killing it in this bout, really elevating both of those kind of not mid-card titles, but they're not quite at the height that the NWA or WWF title is. So it's cool for them to put on an absolute show here for 1990. And these two are definitely guys to look out for the rest of this decade. You heard it here first. Then we got another... I mean, tensions are rising for the Mega Powers. Ever since Liz left, Savage, he's been an absolute wreck. Hogan's been trying to, be his rock, so to speak. And I'm not talking Dwayne Johnson. I'm talking that pillar of strength. That guy that you can lean on and say, hey, I'm feeling a little sad, my dude. And they give you a big old pat on the back. They tell you, I'm with you, brother. But I ain't taking no pinfalls. We'll see if that's the case here, because we have unveiled our very first Elimination Chamber, and it is going to be planted right over that riggedy ring here tonight. Final resolution, Elimination Chamber bout. 6 of the WWF and the world's toughest competitors are all going to battle it out to be the last survivor. Why, you might ask? Well, why do we wake up in the morning, huh? Why do you drive to work? Why do you learn all these new things? Because we all want to be a champion. And then the WWF, there is one, nay 2 titles that hold all the meaning in the world. And that's that NWA strap and that WWF heavyweight title strap. And that's what Hogan and Savage are after. But to them, it's much more than just going after a title, a piece of leather with some gold on it. It's about revenge. Because while they might have faced Flair before, they have not taken what matters to him most, and that is clearly that title, that strap, plural straps. And Savage and Hogan have been kind of getting in skirmishes, trying to be the guy to challenge for it. Savage says, look, he took away my wife, he ruined my big day. And Hogan said, look, I was there for you, brother, and I should have been the one to protect you. Let me prove to you that I can be that kind of big brother for you. And it's led to really kind of deep-seated arguments. Well, tonight they're going to be fighting each other because they are 1/3 of the 6th, these two. The rest of the competitors are as follows: Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Ted DiBiase, The Undertaker, Big Van Vader, all main eventers, all top-tier talents, all going for those straps. And let's see how it goes. We got a 95 bout, a 4 3/4 stars, says Dave Meltzer. Via DM, he said, look, baby, it's a tremendous match. I like what you did here. But Hogan went over again, predictable. He docked it at a 1/4 star. I respect it. He's got a family to feed. But so does Savage. And you got to know, he's probably a little bit salty. He's probably a little bit mad that Hogan took home the victory here because he wanted it. But that's just not the way it went. Let's read through it, boys and girls. Exceptional match. Hogan defeats Steamboat Vader, Savage, DiBiase, Taker in this Elimination Chamber bout. 1 second over. That's okay. They earned that second. Order of elimination, Taker first. Okay, that makes sense. Savage second. Wow, he's out early. Okay, then Steamboat. Then Hogan fought the odds against two huge heels, two of the biggest heels, actually, in the company. Vader and DiBiase, who have some pretty bad blood against each other, especially because Vader got kicked out of the $1 Million Inc. We all know that. We all remember that. DiBiase, man, last man eliminated. Pretty cool. All right, and let's go through in-ring performances. Everyone absolutely brought their A game tonight, no doubt about it. 95 in the co-main. I'm pretty happy about that. It was definitely a very good match. Taker 92, Steamboat 95, Vader 93, Savage 95, DiBiase 94, Hogan 98. Everyone's killing the game. And I mean, honestly, those are all main event in-ring performances. And to think that we have 6 guys who can do that, that's judo, baby. There ain't nothing else to say about that. Dentless. And then the 4 Horsemen promo as Flair gets ready to rumble. We're not quite there. Again, Royal Rumble next month. It's the next pay-per-view. It's not next month's actually. It's in January. End of the month. However, you guys stay tuned for that. Big stories coming out of that. And I think you guys will find it interesting, without a doubt. But Flair is going into battle in the main event. He's got 2 other competitors, Misawa and Jake the Snake Roberts. And you're probably wondering, wow, triple threat, that doesn't happen very often. Why is it a triple threat main event? Well, let me tell you. Obviously, you watched last pay-per-view because you are a loyal fan who likes and subscribes. And you know that Flair and Misawa had magic in the ring. 5-star bout. No doubt about it. Might even be the 6-star bout that you only hear about in myths and legends. Well, as we all remember, Misawa lost that bout via, well, he actually won the bout. My mistake. And it was via DQ. Why? Because Jakey Snakey Roberts DDT'd Misawa in the main event. Why? Because he had just won #1 contendership in a fatal 4-way co-main event. And he liked his odds against Ric Flair better. And he also wanted to show his muscles. He wanted to show what he was capable of. Some mind games for Slick Rick. Well, guess what, Buster? The commish of the WWF don't play that game. And he kind of made it backfire for Jakey Snakey Roberts. So he did what any logical man would do. He said, Jake, you did win #1 contendership. However, Misawa never lost. And now Flair is in a compromised position because he can lose the title without having his shoulders pinned to the mat. And here we are in the main event with another 5-star bout. Just call me Mr. 5-star. Comment Mr. 5-star. You know it. I'm the captain now. Another sensational bout. We did it, folks. We did it. Wow, let's just read through it before I start to gush more. I'm excited, boys. I hope you are too. Sensational wrestling, fantastic heat. Flair defeated Jake the Snake Roberts and Misawa in 27:59. They made up for that second that the Elimination Chamber stole. Flair defeats Roberts by submission after blatantly cheating. He makes it defense #2 for the NWA Heavyweight title and also for the WWF World Heavyweight title. Jakey Snakey 92, Misawa 95, Flair 99. He is on top of the world, and it looks as though we will be seeing Flair Hogan at the Rumble match. Exciting stuff, no doubt about that. And I hope that you liked it. But before we leave, let's take a look at the card rating. 98, awesome. Show increased popularity in 11 regions. I'm certainly excited about that. Now look, here is the deal. I was thinking maybe you guys would like to see some of the behind the scenes stuff. I know I only show you guys pay-per-view stuff and the like, but I was thinking, would you guys like a kind of behind the scenes video where I go through title history, wrestlers match history, company top 10 or top 100 events, matches, that type of stuff, Hall of Fame, people's popularity, gimmicks, their in-ring stats. Let me know in the comments whether you would like to see a behind the scenes video and what stuff you would like to see in that behind the scenes video. Again, this was supposed to be Cyber Sunday. I gave the opportunity. However, there really wasn't demand for it, so I swerved, bro. Just because I got to keep it entertaining for you guys, but you know, without the input, I got to do what I think is best. But this is something that I really want to do, and if I see if I see people saying that, yeah, I would like to see that, I'm gonna make it because I think it's interesting stuff, but I've just never done it because I don't know if you guys would think it's interesting. So comment and let me know if you would like to see that. Be sure to like and subscribe. You guys have been great, and I hope I have been too. And I will catch you on the flippity floop.